Hello everyone. Today we start a little bit earlier because Max want to talk today a little bit more. So today we're discussing the U.S. Advanced GDP, which will be out in about 11 minutes from now. And as you can see, me and my colleague Max are here today to cover this data for you. As you can see on my screen, at the current moment, the forecast stands at 1.6%, while the prior figure stood at 3.9%. So talking a little bit more about the projections and the historical movement of the indicator, I will remind you that America's economy gathered momentum in the second quarter, expanding 3.9% on an annualized basis according to the most recent data. Economists believe that the U.S. economy has slowed down in Q3, with forecast standing at a rate of only 1.6% given the recent data. It's important to remember that the first release is usually heavily revised in the following two publications. And also I would like to give you a comment from Deutsche Bank. So the expert Joseph Laborna says that regarding real GDP growth, we are projecting a sharp slowdown that is due mainly to inventory liquidation and weak net exports. Consumer spending is expected to remain robust, which should help sustain a 3+% rate of growth in private domestic demand. The GDP deflator should also only show modest growth, implying that nominal output grew just 3.1% last quarter. This would lower the year-over-year rate from 3.7 to 3%. With so little top-down demand, it is not surprising that inflation pressures are modest. So moving forward, as always, we have our experts' opinion on the estimates and then projections. So according to their views, we have the Bloomberg survey summary where the median estimate stands at 1.6, average estimate stands at 1.61 actually. The high estimate stands at 2.4 and low estimate stands at 0.9%, while the total number of estimates has reached 80 this time. Moving forward. No, I also have one more quote. Yes. I just lost in all my notes. Well, yes, talking a little bit more about the experts' opinion, it is safe to say that there is a relatively wide range of expectations for today's release, because the month survey of economists from the Wall Street Journal reveals that the projections vary from 1% till at least 3.9%. And yes, turning to the Dukascopy community member sentiment on the dollar-Japanese yen currency pair, we can see that the traders went rather bearish on the matter with 65.17% versus the 34.83% bullish votes. And here you can also see the couple of comments from our community members. So Ivan says that gross domestic product is expected to be at 1.7. He says, and the previous question is 3.9%. And he would rather disagree with the fact because GDP is closely linked to the CPI report showing a 0.3 monthly and 1.9 annually. It means it's on the rise, and hence GDP should grow. And this continues the upward trend that was already several months. This also indicates the economic activity is currently expanding. I'm sorry. And the second community member is bearish on the matter, and he says that, it's she, I believe, and the trader says that if we are to believe the forecast, then the ongoing decline in economic activity in the US dollar and lower gross domestic product on a quarterly basis. The forecast of 1.6% was significantly lower than the 3.9 of the actual parameter. For all this may be the result of a negative for a dollar, and the trader predicts bearish impact for the currency pair after the release. And right now, since Max wanted to talk a little bit more, I would like to give the floor to him to cover the technicals and the reaction.
Thank you very much, Kate. Hello, everybody. I hope you have a great day. So yes, we are discussing the U.S. Advanced or the first estimate GDP today. I think it's the most important data released this week. And concerning the expectations, Kate has already spoken about that. The average estimate stands for just 1.6% expansion in the third quarter. It compares to 2.9% in the second quarter and to 4% in the third quarter of 2014. So possibly the growth of the U.S. economy will considerably slow down today, but we will see that in around 5 minutes. Concerning other expectations, for instance, JP Morgan Chase Bank expects a growth of just 0.9% today, while Societe Generale has the most bullish expectation for the growth of 2.4%. At the same time, the U.S. economy has been facing a couple of challenges in the past quarters. Among them, it was the strong dollar, also weakening global growth, and especially in China, also cuts in investment in the production sector, and overall weakness in the manufacturing industry, and also inventory corrections, which all can weigh on the growth of the U.S. economy in the third quarter. So therefore, we have the negative surprise trading strategy today and the cable for the discussion today, because as you can see, this currency pair actually has bullish sentiment on all fronts. We have the bullish market sentiment, bullish pending orders, and positive expectations, positive sentiment among other market participants. So they expect the cable to increase versus the US dollar. So in case we have really negative data from the US, possibly the dollar will decline today in spite of yesterday's spike we have seen after the Federal Reserve comments, rather hawkish comments concerning December. I mean December rate increase, of course. So speaking more about the current market situation, we see that the cable is currently trading at 1.5260 level and has been basically flat for the past couple of minutes, I would say even for the past 1 hour. Of course, speaking about the average reactions for the past 5 quarters, the average one was 35 pips for this currency pair, and we can take it as a benchmark to project the possible market reactions today after the data is released in around 2.5 minutes from now, from the current moment. The first take profit level for this currency pair stands at the moment just below the level of 1.5275, which is supported by the 4-hour R1 resistance line, and the second take profit level is placed at the daily pivot point, some 12 pips more to the upside, and it is likely to be reached in case the US numbers are bearish and are negative indeed. Of course, we cannot exclude the possibility of the data being positive today. Possibly, it is possible that the growth will be higher than it is expected, even despite these negative factors which are currently influencing the US economy, both inside the country and abroad. And in case we see better than expected numbers, the pair can initially decline down to the first stop loss level at 1.5246, and in case of really good numbers, a fall is possible even down to the second stop loss at 1.5228, which is some 35 pips below the current spot price. So I guess we have 1 minute to go till the data will be finally released in the chat section and we'll see the numbers. Let me just shortly cover the technical indicators on the cable, which are actually sending neutral signals on 30-minute time frame, the time frame which suits the current data release, because the indicators were updated some half an hour ago from now already. So they are neutral on the cable at the moment, and so do also the 1-hour indicators. So they are quite undecided on the matter, and it is true because usually sometimes there are surprises in the data for the US, especially first estimate GDP. So we have some 15 seconds to go till the data will be finally available, will be published in the chat section, and hopefully we will see the first initial reaction from the US dollar and from its pair with the British pound. So let's just wait for the numbers to be released. Actually, the UK economy expanded a bit less than expected by 1.5% in the third quarter. It is, of course, considerably down from 3.9% we have seen in the second quarter, and it is a bit by one tenth of 1% below the average expectation. Of course, we also have had the US unemployment claims all together with the GDP data. But no surprise actually there. They were published to be better than expected. And concerning the market reaction, actually, we have seen a bit of increase in the value of the cable initially. So it was some 10 to 12, 13 pips upside reaction from the cable. And the first take profit level has been violated, but now the pair has bounced back to trade at 1.5270 level. So I guess that for now it will be all from my side also on the technical part for this data release. Thank you very much for your attention. I wish you all a great trading day ahead. See you all tomorrow, and I give the floor back to you, Kate.
Thank you, Max. Yeah, so guys, once again, the US GDP came out at 1.5%, a little bit worse than expected, but still, so yes, thank you for your attention. And right now, I would like to give the floor to Doc, who will talk about the algos and everything we all want to know about trading, but we're afraid to ask. So please, Doc, welcome on the board, and see you guys later. Bye.